No, I understand. I can't believe you're defending it. It's the same thing. You should actually be saying, yes, it's the same. Because James Gunn knew his wife could do it because he knows who his wife is, just like John Krasinski knew his wife could do it.
What I'm saying is
So
between the two
it's
of
the
them, it's not
same
nepotism. I'm
thing.
saying that's not nepotism in those cases. They chose
So
the
you
right
do
actors for the
think
roles.
James Gunn is doing nepotism
No, I said it's
with
not nepotism.
Jennifer
I
Holland?
literally said it's not nepotism.
I understand that. So basically, you're fighting with yourself because I'm saying the same thing, but I'm saying it extends to James Gunn and Jennifer Holland. That nobody should say that about Jennifer Holland because they don't say that
No, I'm agreeing
about.
with
I know. Why are we fighting about this?
you.
You're the one that was making it a big deal. Can you just start the show?
Yeah, I was saying
We're
Rob
late
Zombie
because
was-
we're Rob Zombie. It's the same thing. Rob Zombie knows his wife can do it.
that in that case, he could have picked somebody better. But we're gonna let's get this started.
Thanks for the vocal warm up.
Distance nerding.
Hey!
Ready
Jen's
to go.
ready to fight. There we go.
I'm ready to go. Let's go. Let's do this.
James said Frank clip that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. Me and Jen were fighting before the show. For those of you who aren't watching live, you're never going to hear it, but go back and watch the live episode unless James cuts it out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Taco Tuesday. You know what that means. You are now experiencing distance nerding. I am your boy, Young Phil. That's Jen in the co-host hot seat. And we're here
to nerd together. I suck at that. I you know what? I get an F. I get an F in co-hosting. Hot seat, too hot. Failing grade.
She is trying
Already.
to find a way for her to give herself negative points, and it's not working at all in any way. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking anything pop culture, news, movies, music, food, wrestling, comics, Comic-Cons, whatever you're nerding out on. We want to talk about it. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube right now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Really helps us out. Listen on your favorite podcast app. Leave us a review. And remember, 5 stars helps us so damn much.
What is your favorite podcast app?
Okay, so I actually use Apple Podcasts.
I do too, but I'm trying to branch out. So I keep asking people, and a lot of people say Spotify, but I know there are more out there. Hey guys, chime in or leave a comment of your favorite podcast app, and I'll see if I can find us on it, and I'll report back.
We should be on all of them because I made a point of finding every podcast app that exists and getting us on there.
Well, hey, let's just see. Let's see.
We'll see.
Guys, if you have other podcast apps that aren't Apple or Spotify, let us know. Okay.
Right. Well, guys, follow us on all the social medias on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Threads, Blue Sky, Discord, all at Distance Nerding. And of course, you can email us if you would like to email us of that sort. As long as that email address that you're sending it to, you can use whatever email address you want, but as long as you're sending it to distancenerding@aol.com.
So let's say Distance Nerding had an email address at Verizon. Okay. So it's like distancenerding@verizon.co. They could send that to distancenerding@aol.com and we would get that email.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Simple.
Easy enough.
I don't know why people are so confused about it.
I mean, are people confused about it, or is there confusion?
I mean, look, I always have my ear to the ground. I know these things.
No, yeah. When
I am an ear to the grounder.
You're an ear to the grounder.
Yes.
I respect
thing
that.
I just invented.
A thing you just invented.
I have never heard anyone say ear to the grounder, but now I love it and I want it to be a thing. So let's make that happen.
Let's make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into this. It is now time to jump into the show. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching the worst kept secret on all of the internet because we can't really keep it a secret. It's been too difficult and we just kind of gave up at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching The Download. Well, here we are. It is time. We are way too small. There we go. Okay.
I was like, what? Oh, thank you. I have lost weight. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this week on deck, we've got starting rumors.
We map out an expat, a Ruby Visor, and Spidey villains.
That's right. The download.
We felt all the tingles throughout the fandoms this week.
And of course, rounding it out, we go into the Geek End update.
We're gearing up for Tri-Cities Powerhouse, yo.
That's right. But before we get into all of that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on the wrong. Okay, I'm always on the wrong page. Ladies and gentlemen, but first, let me get a shout out. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, shout outs to Dubby. That's right. Dubby is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Find out more about Dubby at www.dubby.gg. Use the code NERDING10 and get 10% off your order. It's all the deliciousness and the fun of energy drinks, but you make it yourself. So it's a little bit of extra work, but it's still good.
Bill, are you frozen? No, you're not frozen anymore. You were for a second. It freaked me out. Okay. So I was like, he's saying all the W stuff, but he's not moving at all. That's really cool. And then I went, oh, he's frozen. Okay. So other than Dubby, we do have another sponsor. Actually, they're more of a daddy executive producer. Could we say that?
Yes. I'm sure Frank would love that.
Being a daddy vibes executive producer.
Is Zaddy the executive producer?
Zaddy the executive. There you go. So Distance Nerding is part of Geek Freaks Network, which we think is an amazing thing. It's definitely a marriage of equals. For fans who live loud, and Lord knows we do, whether you're deep in lore or just discovering your latest binge, I have to tell you, oh yes, Frank is our fratty. He's our fratty. I love it. All right. I have to tell you, so I just I caught up on Gilded Age, but I binge watched Peacemaker and I started Wakanda, Eyes of Wakanda. So these are new things. Oh, well, Gilded Age isn't, but Peacemaker and Eyes of Wakanda is. So I just love it. And so, hey, that's me. I'm discovering my latest binge. Geek Freaks is the network that speaks your language, the language of nerd. Podcasts that punch, ponder, and power up, including these greats. So challenge accepted. Have they ever asked us to be on Challenge Accepted? I feel like we should do team versus team. Do I say this every week? I think I do.
I think we do. I just invited them onto the buzzer though, so hopefully we get them on the buzzer soon.
Okay. Maybe we'll do they'll be on the buzzer and then we can be on Challenge Accepted and then we'll mix match.
Exactly.
That would be fun. That would be fun. I'd like to see Graveyard go up against a couple of them because I think he'd do a really good job.
Because he's a trivia monster.
He really is. He really is. Fandom portals step through and explore multiverse theory like a pro. I do enjoy their theories. I still don't think they're as crazy as mine, but they're young. Interviews and headlines is kind of like our build. So I like that it's no gatekeeping. Everybody's allowed. I love that.
Yeah.
Anime Plus is their manga show. And I know we don't do a ton of manga, but I know a lot of people that are fans of ours do like it, so you might want to check that one out.
Yeah, we've been
Whether
talking to
you're
them about coming on the show, so they're going to be guest hosting at some
oh
point soon.
oh that's awesome. That'll
Yeah,
be amazing. I'd love that. I loved having Thomas on last week. That was
yeah.
amazing. So whether you're building Legos, debating casting choices, or still crying over that finale, we've got you covered. Geek Freaks Network, your fandom, your community, your favorite people. Not me. I'm annoying. Find out more at gfpods.com.
Oh man, already putting that in the chat.
Ah.
Oh god. All right, so James, Shadu would be horrible at challenge accepted because they challenge each other to watching things, but Shadu doesn't watch a damn thing.
Look, he's trying. Okay. He's trying. Right now, he is currently making a film, actually directing a film. So I think he gets a pass this month. Next month, we'll see.
All right, well, let's jump into this, ladies and gentlemen. Also, I just realized I didn't change the page. There you go, everybody. You can see it right there. geekfreakspodcasts.com or gfpods.com. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this. It's time to get banned in Belarus. Let's go.
Banned in Belarus, banned in Belarus, banned in Belarus. Ba, 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 ba.
James said no pass unless he puts me in the movie.
He probably would. I just don't think you're available or local.
Yeah, no, James, you have to go to
Oklahoma.
You got to go to Oklahoma or Kansas.
No, you have to go through Kansas. It's not worth it. Don't come.
Or go to Arkansas. There you go.
Arkansas.
You have to go to Arkansas.
I thought Oklahomans were bad at naming stuff, but Arkansas really. I mean, they call themselves Arkansians, and I'm like, oh, that's the best you could come up with? I mean, Oklahoma, we're Oklahomans. That makes sense.
Oklahoma.
Right. And you just put an N on it. Oklahoman. That's it. Super easy. But it's just
you're an
like
Oklahomie.
I'm an Oklahomie. I am.
I mean, they call themselves Okies, but I mean, still, Oklahomie just sounds.
And I don't. And homie, don't play that.
Right.
Oklahomie, don't play that.
Oklahomie, don't play that. All right. Let's jump into this first story here because I'm ready to do it. One pulls punches, one pulls triggers. This won't end with a hug at all. Brand new day is shaping up to be anything but a friendly neighborhood anything. Rumors tease a tense clash between Spider-Man and the Punisher over Scorpion, plus a stacked villain lineup featuring one deep-cut surprise that could send fans scrambling to the wiki. Between moral dilemmas and rogue chaos, this might be Marvel's most unpredictable Spidey outing yet. So, guys, tacos on the table. I say guys because I'm including the chat. Tacos on the table. Could this be Marvel's way of testing Sinister Six waters again?
Let's see what Andy says. Hey, he's a guy. Andy says, no tacos on the table.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, I really think that this is like Sony's last hurrah with Spidey. I think after Tom Holland goes away, I think that Marvel's getting it. I think Marvel's getting Spidey back soon.
I mean, I kind of hope that Marvel gets Spider-Man back. And like, I mean, they have Spider-Man to an extent because he's a lone character, but like, if we can get full-on Spider-Man and Marvel has control over all the characters, because Sony, and then, you know, the other thing is, the reason I don't think Sony is going to let go Spider-Man is because they're doing so well with Spider-Verse and they're pushing that out. I think that I think that they're gonna start focusing on Miles Morales and start focusing on other characters. I don't see Sony letting it go.
I wonder if that's like the thing, because there were rumors, there were talks that it Marvel was going to get Spider-Man back. I wonder if it was Marvel was going to get to use Miles Morales's Spider-Man in his like his villains and stuff. I'm wondering if maybe that was what they were talking about, because that would actually clear a lot of things up, and then it wouldn't have to be, well, this person can be in the Spider-Man movie, but this person can't, and we can't have any other Spider-Man characters in the MCU uh, because they're not contracted or something. And so I think maybe like splitting it down where it's Miles Morales' stuff can go to the MCU, and the Tom Holland's Spider-Man can stay in the Sony verse.
Yeah,
What do you think?
guess. I kind of I just want Marvel to have everything back
I do
because
too.
yeah, I'm tired of Sony just trying to make Spider-Man a cash cow rather than respecting the character. So
Yeah, yeah. No, I get you. I want it to come back. Maybe that's why I'm like, no, Spider-Man's gonna go back. But yeah, I don't. I I don't think they've. To me, they shot their shot at Sinister Six, and it fell flat, and actually threw a couple stories and into the basement. But I don't think they're gonna do that again. Are they going to have will they have, like, multiple villains? Absolutely, because the last Spider-Man really got a boost from having those villains back, having Doc
right,
Ock and, Green Goblin, Sandman. So, I know that they're gonna lean into that, and then they're bringing Punisher in. So,
right.
it's like Punisher's got he's got help now, whether he wants it or not. But, yeah. So my tacos are off the table. I don't think they're gonna do a Sinister Six again. Maybe they'll call it the Sweet 1616. I don't know.
The Sweet 1616. Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to the next story here.
Okay. Did I beat that dead horse enough? Thanks. Uh, his suit screams, "I lead a team and I have trauma."
Yeah, no, accurate.
James Accurate. James Marston Cyclops may be suiting up in a Jim Lee inspired costume for Avengers Doomsday. I'm so on board with this.
Same.
Sorry, that's a preview of my tacos. That means bold colors, tactical gear, and a whole lot of 90s swagger. If true, it's a signal that the MCU might be done playing it safe with X-Men aesthetics. No more black leather unless it's warranted, like Madeline. Tacos on the table. Does this mean the X-Men are skipping the slow burn and going full nostalgia?
Tacos on the table 100%.
Yeah.
Marvel is not afraid anymore, mostly because Ryan Reynolds proved you can put Wolverine in the yellow costume and it works. Full
Yeah.
costume. Because by
Yeah.
the end, so the movie starts off with him in the costume without the mask. He ends up in the
Mhm.
full costume. By the end of the movie, it's just a mask and nothing,
And just pants.
just pants and
Mhm.
the washboard sexiness that is, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman. But I mean, like, it proves that you can do comic book accurate costumes. Spider-Man in a comic book accurate costume, a lot of the Marvel characters in comic book accurate costumes, and it works. So I
Yeah.
think that they're tired of, or they're done with being afraid of putting comic book accurate stuff on the screen, especially like for
Mhm.
all the grief I give Cyclops, his costume would look dope in live action.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You get that, like, midnight navy blue in there with the yellow, but it's like that gold yellow, but not too shiny because you don't want it to be too shiny. With
Mhm.
the red, it's iconic. And I really loved
On
Jim Lee's redesigns. I did. I loved them. So yeah, let's do this. Let's give Jim Lee the credit that Asian man deserves.
Jim Lee deserves all the credit for all the amazingness that he did in the '80s. So I mean,
He
and through the
also
'90s.
deserves some credit for stuff that he did in the 80s. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the 90s.
I was saying in the '90s too, and Image Comics and uh currently all the stuff he does.
Wildstorm. He he got his way into CEO through a back door. He did, because he got bought out by DC with Wildstorm.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was the president of Wildstorm for a while. And then because he was the president of that, and then they merged them, he became like one of the high ups there, and then he got to CEO. And look what he's done. He has done this. He gave us James Gunn, y'all. This didn't happen without him.
Right. Absolutely.
All right, let's go.
All right, so let's continue on here. No title, no studio, just vibes and bat cred. Mattson Tomlin.
That was good. That was good. I really liked that. That was awesome. Clip that, Frank.
Clip it, Frank. Mattson Tomlin, co-writer of The Batman, dropped a cryptic tease hinting at a new superhero project. No details yet. Is it DC? Is it original? Is it secretly Batman Beyond? Whatever it is, fans are already spiraling. So, tacos on the table. Is Tomlin trying to stay relevant?
So for that question, I'm just all tacos in. Because I do think that's what this is. I think he's like, superheroes are getting a lot of play right now, so I'm just going to tease this. But I'm not going to say anything definite. And that's what I feel like this is. I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, no, but he's doing it this way. I am so vengeance. That's what it is.
Oh, vengeance.
I like totally doing the vengeance vibe right now.
Batman Queen.
What about you, Phil?
My tacos are on the table just mainly because I'm sure it is just a pull for relevancy, just showing people that he's still out there writing and whatnot. They had all this trouble with the Batman 2 and everything going on. It's just him saying, hey, I'm still here, still writing superhero movies. And the next jump is another superhero movie. I would love for him to do a Batman Beyond, as long as Michael Keaton is playing old Bruce.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I'd love that. And then we get a Great Dane ace. I watched The Ugly Dachshund from 1966. We watched that last night because Husby hadn't seen it. And then we realized that it's really pretty racist. There's Japanese characters in there, and it's very it's very racist. Anyway, but
Remember,
so now I'm like,
remember back then, it was white guys playing Asian characters. So
no, these were actual Japanese characters.
No, but I'm just saying back then that was a thing back then. Like, they were there was caricatures of people and characters back then, and it was fine. It was okay. That was the norm.
Yeah. Anyway, Suzanne Plachette's in it, but there's a Great Dane in it. He thinks he's a dachshund. It's adorable. So now I'm like, I want Ace to be a Great Dane.
I'm with it.
So that's it.
Well, let's move on to this next story here. This treasure.
This treasure hunt stuck in development purgatory. Josh Brolin revealed that Goonies 2 has had 5 different scripts over the years, each one trying to crack the code of a worthy sequel. Whether it's legacy kids, returning cast, or a full reboot, the project's been circling the map without finding the X. Tacos on the table. Should they go full legacy sequel or reboot with new kids?
So, a missed opportunity in saying this script never says die.
Oh, yeah. I could have gone that way, I guess. It's not the scripts that never say die, because there have been 5 of them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The script will just never die. They'll just keep making them. What I think that this should be a hybrid. So I think that there should be a whole full legacy thing where it's the adults, as it's them still being friends over the years, and everything kind of happening over the years, but it's their kids going on the adventure.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe like a passing of the torch kind of thing
Right.
where, they have to come back and all get together for some reason, and then an adventure ensues and their kids get involved, and it becomes like this really cute, hopeful thing, and everybody hugs at the end.
Yeah, and there's got to be like some weird
And then Cyndi Lauper
tangential.
does another song for them.
There's got to be some weird tangential connection with like more Fratellis getting involved in this.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
something
you
like that,
killed
yeah.
like 30, 40 years ago, you killed my grandmother, or all this other stuff. And it's like, I also feel like there is much needed like what happened to Sloth.
Yeah.
Is he
Yeah,
still friends
something like
with
that.
them? Like, is he still friends with them or anything like that? Like, I would love to see kind of like what happens to Sloth. Like, were they still friends with him after all of that?
Mhm.
Did he survive out to this point? Is he an old man with like an eye on his cheek? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Or maybe they come back for his funeral.
oh yeah. Yeah. They have a whole thing where,
Then that way, yeah, you don't have to, like, figure out what he would look like now or anything like that, and then but he's there for they get there for the funeral, and then they realize that there's some sort of mystery that he's left them, and they have to
yeah.
figure it out.
James saying, what if it's the Fratellis getting out of jail?
Oh, it could be that. Yeah, it could be that. And then Sandra Betty said, "I was literally just typing that phrase." So, well, women's minds think alike, so because
I
'cause we're
just want to
crazy.
see. I want to see what happened to Data when he got older. It's just, oh yeah,
Right.
no. I became like, if they make it a parallel of real life, and it's like, yeah, so Data gets older and he becomes a martial artist and becomes a stuntman, and uh
Right.
he did all the stunts for one of the most successful movies of all time. Because in real life,
Yeah.
he did all the stunt work for the Matrix. So it's like,
Right. Yeah. No, yeah, maybe they do that, but then, like, if they did that, then it would be like I guess they could because d isn't Josh Brolin, and Josh Brolin is Sean Astin's older brother,
older
right?
brother, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought that I look, it's been a minute since I've seen it, so I
I mean,
can
out of
rewatch
all
it.
of them, the only one that didn't continue on acting was Chunk, because Chunk became a lawyer in real life.
No, but I'm saying, like, if you went by, like, how they did it, then
Yeah.
that's it, like, Data did that, and then you've got,
James
Josh
is saying Chunk
Brolin
became a
and Sean
personal trainer.
but no, Josh Brolin's character could have basically done everything that Josh Brolin did.
Mhm.
Like, it really screwed him up after this, and so he went on to be in, like, be one of the bad boys in LA, and then, and, like, because that's what he did, but not mention the acting part, and then he comes back, and that's, like, he and Sean Astin's character who, like, maybe did, like, local commercials or whatever, and then he's, like, the mayor of the town now or something like that. You just tweak it a little, but kinda keep it similar.
Right.
That would be amazing. I would love that. I don't think they'd want that though. I would think that they would be like, "No, I don't want my life in this. Hey, come on. I mean, Goonies never say die, but I got paid for that." Kind of
Yeah.
thing. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, that's it for the rumors here. So we're moving, chugging right along here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump into the next portion here. We've got a whole bunch of news to cover, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the download.
Is it over? Are we done?
All right, show's done. For more news, trailers, reactions, check out the Distance Nerdings and Posts. Let us know what you're nerding out on, guys. We want to talk about it on every chance that we get. We want to talk about all the things you guys are all nerding out on over there. Now, this is Casting Cash. We're staking our claims while bringing in Holmes this week. Jen, take it away.
So first we have if he's dreamy and new in town, he's either undead or about to be. That's right. Kingston Vernes. I'm just
Burns.
gonna say Vernes
Burns.
because Jules Verne. I'm saying Vernes.
Okay.
Joins Hulu's reboot as Carson, a junior Olympian heartthrob at new Sunnydale Academy and the object of Slayer in training Nova's crush. The pilot's still under wraps, but with Sarah Michelle Gellar back and Chloe Zhao directing, this Buffyverse revival is stacking serious talent.
Did we talk
He
about Chloe
totally
Zhao
likes it.
directing this? Like, have we talked about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I think when it first broke that they were thinking of doing it and Sarah Michelle Gellar had talked about it. They were talking that she said that Chloe Zhao was doing it. I know we reported on it. I swear I said those words on the show.
Yeah, because I mean that is gonna be amazing. Chloe Zhao is such a good director.
Mhm.
Like, it's gonna be great to see
Yeah.
her directing this.
Yeah, they've got a lot more it's a lot more female led this
Mhm.
time, which I think is also good. Um, but yeah, I think it's gonna be amazing. I think it's gonna be cool. And he'd be a cute crush for the girl playing Nova. She'd totally crush on him. So yeah, I like it. I like it. He's gonna be a crush. And that he's a junior Olympian. That means that he's gonna be able to do some acrobatic stuff. So he'll be good on her Scooby Gang.
Or is he her angel?
He might be. I mean, he is it said if he's dreamy and new in town, he's either undead or about to be.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Yeah,
Maybe.
like he ends up being a vampire or something.
It could be that. But I mean, junior Olympian.
Mhm.
Anyway, I'm like totally getting ready to go off on a tangent. Let's move on. Turns out Holmes is just fashionably late to his own mystery. Robert Carlyle is stepping into the Deerstalker as Sherlock Holmes in season 2 of CBS's Watson. After a season of hallucinations and medical mysteries, Holmes returns from the dead, literally, to confront Watson with a buried secret that's more than just emotional baggage. I think that's kind of cool. I didn't even know that there was a Watson show going on CBS. It tells you how out of that is because I loved the Holmes, Sherlock Holmes that
Mhm.
Benedict Cumberbatch did. Yeah, I loved that one, the BBC one. So I'm a
Yeah.
huge Sherlock Holmes fan. So
I mean, I like Sherlock Holmes as a character, and
yeah,
I've always loved the books and everything like that. So I mean, it's always interesting going into this. It seems more modern.
yeah, it does. Like it's not kind of like Sherlock Holmes in the BBC one, but not as British. You know
Interesting.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just not as British. More Blackpool.
You know what I always wanted is I always wanted more of those McG movies. I really liked the first two that he did, and like kind of wish that they did more with RDJ.
Oh yeah, yeah, that would have been fun.
Those movies were good.
Yeah, they were good. They
Yeah.
were good.
The
Anyway,
yeah. Sorry, I'm not gonna
from
go off on
vamp
another tangent. Let's jump into it.
from vampire crushes to Victorian ghosts, we all need merch, people.
We got merch, people. Shit! Did
Nope.
I do it too early again? I
Yep.
jumped in.
Every week,
Yeah.
I get you every week.
Premature merch.
Premature merch. I can't
Merchulation.
think of one. Yeah,
Yeah, premature emerchulation.
emerchulation. Say that fast 10 times.
Premature emerchulation. All right. Somewhere, Mrs. Von Rhine is sighing into her tea and sharpening her wit.
It takes place in America.
I
You
know,
could
but
have
I'm doing that
just
because
used
like it's like, late 1800s golden age. It's they still talk with those erudite accents, and it was a thing. It
you've
was a
never
thing.
you you've never seen the show, have you?
I have not, but I mean it was a thing. HBO has announced that the season 4 renewal for their period drama, The Gilded Age. The renewal news comes as the series has aired 6 of the 8 episodes in its 3rd season. The season 3 finale is scheduled to air on August 10th. Jen, you're watching this, right?
I'm obsessed with this. I actually have loved it since it first came out. I'm a myriad of fandoms here. I love period piece dramas, and I like weird sci-fi stuff, and I just like what I like. Anyway, I love this, and I actually am kind of a fan of the Gilded Age historically, so it's been kind of nice to see who they based the characters on and how they kind of tweaked things a little to make it not as um like true to historical stuff. So kind of how they did with Downton Abbey. It's the same people that do Downton Abbey. So
Okay.
I really liked it though. I'm really glad that they're doing a 4th season because the way that they left it on Sunday, someone got shot. That's all I'm saying. Somebody got shot. And this next episode on this Sunday, season finale. So I'm like, how is this going to end? What's going to happen? I am so invested. I'm like, oh my gosh. And the dresses are amazing and they're brightly colored and they're just it's just nice. It's beautiful and it's very much like if you were watching a play because like everything is so gorgeous and larger than life, and the dialogue is just amazing, and it's really neat, and it's very like you can see societal classes and class conflict, and like there's an African American character in it named Peggy, and she's the secretary of Mrs. Van Ryan, and her family is is um like wealthy African Americans. And so seeing them, and now we see her family and they're part of how it was in the Gilded Age and how African American society was in the Gilded Age. And so and that's playing out this season because she's in love with someone and his parents were freed. They were always free men, whereas Peggy's dad is an emancipated slave, but her mom is it was always a freeman. And so you're seeing that, like, how their hierarchy is, how the African American society's hierarchy was back then, versus the, Caucasian, and it's really interesting, it's really cool, and, it's very woman positive. They talk about the suffragist movement, like, so much, and the women in it are not like, "Well, I just must do what my husband says." They're like, yeah, I'll get him to do what I want." I mean, it's very, female forward. So, anyway,
All right.
I went on way too long.
Let's go ahead and move on here.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get this one. Netflix is dishing out more K-pop ramen for everyone. Netflix and Sony Pictures Animation have a surprise mega hit, K-pop Demon Hunters. The stylish animated adventure about a K-pop girl group who battle demons in secret has not only dominated the streaming charts, it's now Netflix's most watched animated movie, ranking up more than 26 million views just last week. According to reports, Netflix is planning a full trilogy. The streamer is eyeing a live action remake, a action stage musical, and even a TV series set in the world of Huntrix. The K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack debuted at number 1 on Billboard's soundtrack chart and came in at number 8 across all albums. More demons, more hunters. I don't think you're ready for this takedown. I think that's from it. I haven't seen it, so I don't know, but I wanted to go all kind of like K-poppy with that. I hope I hit the vibe.
So Netflix beating the horse. It's basically like, okay, hey, We did well with the first movie, so now we're gonna do 3 movies. We're gonna do a live action remake. We're gonna do a live action stage musical. The musical I think would do well. The live action remake I don't think is needed because it's like you guys just did the movie and you're gonna do a live action remake already just because it was you don't need to do that. Like the movie's already successful. You don't need to do a live action remake. If anything, you're just gonna piss off the people who like the the animated one.
Yeah, but no, that's the thing. It's totally different with K-pop. Like they want everything now. Like that's how it is. Like because these K-pop groups, they don't last that long. The good ones last for a while, but if there's one good one and the others are kind of so-so, that one has a career and the others like disappear and it just cycles through. It's crazy. So no, I think this is perfect. Do all of it. Get them dolls, do all the I want merch. Let's do this. Make it the biggest thing ever. Let's do K-pop and let's do supernatural stuff. I think this is a marriage made in heaven. Koreans love supernatural stuff.
It's not that. It's who I don't have faith in is Netflix. I think that Netflix is going to screw this up. Not that
Yeah.
there's anything with K-pop or anything with all of this. I think this is Sony is like, oh, whoa, you know what? We did something good and we have to beat it to the living hell out of it. And then Netflix is just like, oh yeah, no, we're with that. Let's do this. And it's like, no, like guys, curate what you're doing, right? Curate what you're doing. Like it's in the end, it should always be quality over quantity, right? So rather than trying to flood the zone with 1,000 different versions of it, okay, cool. Make a trilogy of movies. If you do a live action, don't do a remake. Do something that is in that universe. You know what I mean? And do something where like it's an entirely new movie, maybe new characters, or if you go live action, you get like an actual K-pop group to play the characters and do all that, right? Like in like again, what I'm hoping for is
I thought a K-pop group was playing these guys.
I mean, like live action. Like if you're gonna go live action,
okay,
yeah,
why not have the K-pop group that did the voices be the ones that are the live action ones?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like make it, but make it another adventure. Don't make it the same exact thing, right? Like,
oh yeah,
make it like another story that lives within that universe, and you get multimedia, kind of like takes on different things within this universe because that builds the lore, that builds the characters. Now you have a live action version of the animated characters, and that's more merch. Like it's now you can go and do a nationwide tour of the characters doing a stage show, and then you do a musical, and then you do a TV show and things that live within that universe. And like again, I want,
and then you take it back to animation.
But yeah, well, like what I want is variety that is cognizant of the property without just rehashing the same thing over and over again, just so you guys can make money. But we were successful doing it this way, so keep doing the same thing, but in different formats. Like, no, just expand on it, right? Like expand on different things. It's kind of like how, again, you do things in different media so that you get different audiences.
And so James said the way that the story is told is generational. It's set up for spinoffs. So
okay, but that feeds into what I'm saying. It literally feeds into what I'm saying is okay. Now, if it's generational, then you have a live action movie that takes place in the past and it's their ancestors, or you take something that is in the future and it's their children or their grandchildren that are in the role. And you can have people who are playing different characters within that universe. Like I don't rehash the same thing. Don't take the first movie, take that exact story, and then go and turn it into a live action thing. Because where they fail with that is, well, we can't make it the same thing that was the animated version. So we're going to make it essentially the same movie, but we're going to put a twist at the end that completely throws everything off and pisses off the fan base. And then you have something that doesn't do well. Like I'm when I'm trying to give advice on here, like Sony even listens to us, but I mean, like the advice that I'm giving is more do things that live in the same universe and is not the same thing over and over again.
Okay. I agree
Right?
with you.
It's expand on the property, expand on the
Mhm.
lore, expand on the universe. If you're gonna do something live action, make it something that lives within that universe and is not the same thing again.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I agree with you. You know, have other stories that live in the universe that don't tell the same exact story over
Right.
and over again.
Ja
I get
James
it.
is saying
I
they
get it.
got it. No, like, James is going, "They got it. They know what they're doing." No, they don't, because Sony and Netflix both fuck this up all the time.
How can you be arguing with him when he isn't even on the show?
Because he's arguing with me in the chat. So it's what's going on. I'm sorry. I'm beating the horse. Let's move on here. You got we have
Oh my god. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Hi, sketchy guy. That's you.
It's me. I was gonna give this one to you. It's Buffy.
Oh, I mean, I can do it. I don't know. I don't care. All right. Buffy's mentoring the new Slayer like a hellmouth hardened Yoda. Plot details for the Buffy the Vampire Slayer sequel series are finally out, teasing a new heroine stepping into the supernatural spotlight. And the original Slayer, Sarah Michelle Gellar, is not only involved, but she's dropped a training video with Ryan Kiera Armstrong. That's the new Slayer. No word yet on how deep Gellar's role goes, but one thing's clear: the Hellmouth isn't done with us yet. She's got the scars, the sass, and now a Slayer in training who thinks vampires are retro.
Oh God. I mean, I'm interested in seeing where they take the story and how it goes. I want to see Sarah Michelle Gellar training the new Slayer, or at least
Yeah.
how she's involved with everything in there. I mean, it's an interesting story either way. So
Yeah, I'd like to see, because, you know, obviously they'll have to wrap up the uh the end of the first series, like explain how Sunnydale is even still there, because last we see it's a hole in the ground. Um So is that now Sunnydale Sunnydale Lake, and there it's like a town or has built up over that lake or something? I mean, it could be something like that, but I'm interested to see that, and then I'm also interested in, is, you know, are they, if they are going to address that and Buffy activated all the Slayers, is is this the next generation Slayer that, because she activated them all, that Nova is the character's name, is going to be like the new, like, Alpha Slayer from, like, is the next bloodline, so to speak. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Do you
I know, I
understand what
hear
I'm
what you're saying.
saying? Okay. Because I think that that would be a lot more interesting to have, where Buffy basically takes on the Watcher role and does train her, but because she's a Slayer, she's a former Slayer, still a Slayer, she she takes it a different way than maybe the Watchers do. And, you know, you could bring back Giles, you could bring back a lot of characters to just come in and, you know, guest star whenever. It's got a lot of possibilities. I really am interested in how they're going to do it. I really like Ryan, uh, RKA, Ryan Kiera Armstrong. I really like her. She's got a Sarah Michelle Gellar, which I think is also funny. That she's got three names. That she's got that kind of vibe, the early Sarah vibe from Buffy, like season 1 and 2. So I do. I think it's interesting. I think we could. I think things could be done. I think I could get, you know, fully invested pretty easily. So.
She definitely looks like she could be related to Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, she does. And we've seen her play really sassy in Skeleton Crew. If you guys haven't seen that, perfect time to watch it, because now you can get a look at the new Slayer and see her in a similar type role. So,
All right. Well, let's continue.
And they're not a sponsor.
They're
Disney's
not
sponsors.
I mean, we're not a
That's
shill
not
for
sponsored.
anybody. I mean, I wish we were shills
Yeah.
for almost everybody that we nerd out on. But no, we don't get paid by any of these franchises. Disney,
Alas, they don't monetize us at all.
that's right. Disney, you can pay us for all the stuff that you want to do. We will praise all your stuff if it's good. All right. The silence is officially breaking again. John Krasinski has finally confirmed that A Quiet Place Part 3 is happening. Krasinski will write and direct the film. A Quiet Place Part 3 will be into theaters July 9th, 2027.
Okay, I'm really glad that you did this one because I read that as shushing like that. So you had it right.
Or you can
Great read.
Shush. That's
right. I was like, are we like snow skiing? Shushing, like that. Yeah, that's
all right.
I've read it totally differently, and I really like your interpretation much better than mine.
So quick notes on that. We're gonna jump right into the next one. So Waititi's weird and Levy's locked in. So buckle up, you nerf herders. Because you're all a bunch of scruffy nerf herders. Star Wars is finally showing signs of life with two highly anticipated projects. Taika Waititi's mysterious Star Wars project has a working title, Cosmic Doom. Ooh. Details about the plot are still under tight wraps, but Waititi is set to direct from a script written by Tony McNamara, the guy who did The Favorite and Poor Things.
Sean Levy are Oscar nominated.
Right. Sean Levy's Star Wars Starfighter is much further along. The studio is targeting a production start this September in London, with filming expected to wrap in December, with the movie set for a theatrical release on May 28th, 2027. So may the Force and good movies be with you all.
You as well. Nanu.
Nanu.
You know what? I'm really excited about this. I think seeing Taika Waititi's take on Star Wars, like his very own take, living in that universe, I think is really interesting. It would be kind of like Wes Anderson's take on Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like that is just such a different shift for people. But I'm really excited to see that. And Sean Levy's Starfighter, like the more I hear about it, the more little like drops come out, the more I'm excited about it because I think it's going to be fun.
Speaking of Wes Anderson,
It's going to be fun for all of us and not fun for Ryan Gosling. That's all I'm saying.
I was saying, speaking of Wes Anderson, I just watched The Phoenician Scheme.
I haven't seen that yet. Is it good?
It's pretty funny.
Okay, cool. I really love his stuff, but I have to be in the just exact right mood to watch his stuff. Because if I'm not, I either get really annoyed or like my brain just turns off and I'm like, I don't understand any of it. So that's yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's continue on here. Go move into this next story.
Oh my God. What could James Gunn be teasing now? When Superman dropped earlier this month, James Gunn sparked interest when he revealed there was a mural to look out for in the Hall of Justice. In a recent chat with IGN, Gunn revealed that at least two of the characters depicted on that wall will have a significant role in the DCU moving forward. Gunn's mural is clearly more than just decoration. It's a meta-human manifesto.
So there are a crap ton of characters on this mural.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's really hard to figure out who it's going to be. I mean, there's a lot of people who are speculating. But I mean, there's so many characters that are on the mural that it's just kind of like it's hard to figure it out, because with James Gunn, it could be anybody.
Right. I think Max Mercury is a pretty safe bet because he's a speedster and his character moves through time. It would be an easy and fast way, haha, fast. I didn't mean to pun that. But a fast way to just be like, yeah, time travel happens, and then not talk about it again, unless they need to for some storied reason. But I think Max Mercury is a pretty logical choice. Um, I'd like to see Liberty Bell because I really want them to bring in Infinity Inc. And but I don't think that's going to be top priority. So that may be a down the line, maybe I get a TV show out of it kind of thing, and
Mhm.
I'm fine with that. But yeah, I think there are other characters could that he would want to use now that are going to be important. But I think Max Mercury is one. I don't know if what is it, Arastios, the exiled Amazon. I don't know if she's gonna be important now. I think she might be later if
Mhm.
they decide to do the Artemis storyline like they did in the comics, where she came from, like, I can't even remember what it's called, like Shambhala or something. Uh, it was the exiled tribe of Amazons, and so they might use her for that. I don't see her as being integral. I think if they're, with Paradise Lost, I did say that uh, last week, I think, but I don't think she's going to be that important. I think she might be mentioned in the Amazons political drama thing,
Mhm.
um, but I don't think she's going to be that important. I would say if I had to put my money on it, I definitely think Max Mercury. And, oh gosh, Fan Me wants Phantom Lady. Really wants Phantom Lady.
So I
Really wants
just I
Phantom
just
Lady.
looked up every character that was supposed to be on this mural.
Mhm,
So Madame Xanadu, Silent Night,
mhm, mhm.
Exoristos,
Yeah, Exoristos, that's the one. She's the Amazon exile.
mhm, the Black Pirate, Miss Liberty,
Mm,
Whip Whirlwind, Super
mhm,
Chief, El
mhm,
Diablo, Iron
mhm,
Monroe, the
mhm.
Ghost of Flanders,
Yeah.
Sandman, Wesley Dodd's version of Sandman, Amazing
Yeah,
Man, which
yeah, Amazing Man, I think he might be one as well. I think
so
Amazing Man might
Amazing
definitely be one.
Man is interesting because if Amazing Man is a part of this, that means Ultra Humanite is gonna be a part of this.
Mhm, mhm,
So
mhm.
that kind of excites me if he does go with Amazing Man because that is an explanation to bring in the Ultra Humanite, who is an amazing character.
Yeah,
Now standing next to Amazing Man is Zatara, which again makes a lot of sense. Bringing Zatara in is there are versions of Zatara um who become Nobu.
yeah, but also Zatara is Zatanna's dad.
Right. Well,
So
that's what I was saying.
it
That's the other thing I was gonna bring up was that's Zatanna's dad. But I mean, again, him merging with Nobu,
Mhm,
and that's another, that's something that we easy to bring in. You mentioned Liberty
right.
Bell, Bullet Man,
Mhm,
you mentioned Max Mercury,
mhm,
Bullet Girl is in this,
mhm.
TNT and Dynamite
Yeah,
kind of jokey characters, but I
yeah.
mean, like, they're there. Phantom Lady, Atomic Knight,
Mhm,
Freedom
mhm,
Beast. Now
mhm.
here are ones that kinda make more sense to me. Wildcat is a major
Yeah,
character in DCU to begin with,
right.
right? Vibe, Gunfire, and of course,
Mhm.
one character who's already making a splash, Max Lord, is at the end of that mural.
Right, yeah. And I mean, he might be, that might be one of them that he's talking about. Could just
Mhm.
be Max Lord is one of the characters.
Right.
Whiplash is Max Mercury, by the way. They're the same person.
Mhm.
It's when he went in the past. He was Whiplash. You knew
Right,
that, right?
I mentioned Whip Whirlwind, though.
Or Whip Whirlwind. No, yeah, that's him. The one in the past that's the speedster, I can't remember it's Whip Whirlwind, Whiplash it's Whip Whirlwind, I think, but it's the same person in the Flashverse,
Mhm.
just to let you know. Because he went back in time with the Speed Force and all that. rigmarole. But yeah, Wildcat. I think okay, here's what I'm gonna say. Fan Gen is Liberty Bell Wildcat. Logical Gen is Max Mercury and Max Lord. The Maxes. I'm going with the Maxes.
All right. Well, let's continue on.
Were
Otherwise,
we
we'll
doing that?
stick on this
Did
for more
I?
long.
Yeah, I think we've been on this too long.
Yeah, we will stay on this forever. But I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they do on this and who James Gunn brings in. So let's let's go ahead and move on here. Feeling that Peter tingle again. God, that feels so nice. Was that weird? All right. It's been officially confirmed that Mark Ruffalo and Michael Mondo are joining the upcoming Marvel Studios film. Ruffalo will reprise his role as Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk. Mondo returns as Matt Gargan, the character he first portrayed in Spider-Man: Homecoming, but this time he's expected to go full villain and finally become the Scorpion. Spider-Man: Brand New Day swings into theaters on July 31st, 2026, and I'm all for a comic book accurate version of Scorpion.
Yeah. It's gonna be real packed. I do like that they are bringing Hulk in there.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we
and
haven't really seen him in a while. I mean, other than She-Hulk, but I mean, like,
yeah. I would, if I were him, I would stay on the beach in this climate. But yeah, I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I guess I'll have to wait until July 31st of 2026.
All right. Well, let's go continue on here.
Mr. Fantastic has existential dad dread. Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards won't be calling the shots in Avengers Doomsday, despite early buzz. Director Matt Shakman. I don't know how to say his last name. Shakman?
Shakman.
Clarified that his comments about Reed leading the Avengers were taken out of context. Pascal echoed his sentiment, saying his character plays a key role, but not as the team's leader. Expect brains, not battlefield commands, when Mr. Fantastic joins the fight against Doctor Doom. In Avengers Doomsday, Dooms reads, I wrote this. You'd think I would know how to say it. In Avengers Doomsday, Doom's the reason Reed can't sleep at night. Why?
Why? Because he kidnapped his son.
No, I'm just saying, why could I not read that?
It's like, why? Because he kidnapped Franklin. I mean, the 100% exactly what he's going to do. I mean, have you seen it leaked online, but did you see the expanded version of the post-credit scene?
No. What is it?
There's an expanded version.
Fake him?
There's an expanded version of the post-credit scene where he takes the mask off. And basically he's trying to comfort Franklin, right? And he's looking at Franklin, and like Franklin touches his face while he's holding the mask and goes, he goes, "I'm Vic. How are you, Franklin?" And then it cuts out.
Oh, okay. They didn't want to show RDJ in the movie for some reason. No, I like it. I'm one of those people nowadays where I'm like, okay, if it didn't make it into the movie or for whatever reason, I'm cool with it not doing that. Now, if I want to buy the DVD box set or whatever, so I can see all the deleted scenes and
which I'm doing for Superman next week.
Then I would then fine, I'll do that because I'm putting my money into it. But I'd rather be surprised. I feel like we're just not as surprised anymore in the world. So I wanted to keep some of that.
There's some surprise left in the world. Well, let's continue on. We're going to jump into a slightly bigger story for the week here, guys.
Two. There's two of them.
Yeah. Oh, I realize I didn't put that picture in the background. I was moving too fast. One fan threatened Gunn at Comic-Con, and he responded with a masterclass in emotional intelligence. At San Diego Comic-Con, a Snyderverse supporter threatened to run up on James Gunn during the Peacemaker Season 2 panel as a sort of protest. Gunn brushed it off at first, noting the absurdity of trying to intimidate someone in a packed Hall H. But later, he got reflective, posting a thoughtful response that's now making waves across fandom spaces. You are the midwife helping to birth that toxic voice into the world, Gunn wrote. You're helping me make a few thousand angry voices seem like millions. He urged fans not to engage with online toxicity, saying, attention, only fans, the flames. Not only fans, but I mean only fans, the flames. He clarified he's not against criticism.
That's a totally different thing.
It's a different OnlyFans. He clarified he's not against criticism, just the rage and cruelty that weaponize fandom into something hostile and harmful. So the question that I have getting into this is there a difference between passionate critique and toxic behavior, and how do creators like Gunn navigate that without alienating their audience?
I mean, I wrote this, obviously, and not obviously, but I wrote this. So when I saw this, I wanted to have the discussion about this. I love these questions because I think there is a difference.
There is.
I feel like a lot of fandoms nowadays are fractioning. They're creating factions, and it's like, well, I love this more than you love this, and
Right.
that's not what it should be about. It should be about accepting everyone, and it doesn't matter how long they've loved something or not. Nobody's gonna have loved Star Wars longer than me because I was there when the first freaking thing opened. I'm not going to push that into anybody's face. You know why? I just actually happened to be alive during that time.
Right.
If other people had been alive during that time, they would have experienced the same thing. It's not a huge deal. I just came into it in a different way. And that's it. We all come into fandoms in a different way. So I do think that it is toxic is very narrow-minded and unwilling to compromise. Passionate critique is, I love this so much that, and the thing that I love about it, I didn't see in this.
Yeah.
And I think that's a difference. It's, hey, I really did like this, but it's not who I think these people should be. That would be passionate critique. Toxic behavior is, I'm not going to like this because you have an agenda. That is not a critique of the actual fandom. That is trying to make something out of nothing. So
I have famously talked about gatekeeping and why I'm anti-gatekeeping and why I don't like the concept of gatekeeping. And it's all because that's not how you grow a fandom. That is not how you grow fans. That's not how you continue on a legacy for characters and different things that are out there. To say that you're not allowed to like Star Wars because I watched Star Wars in theaters in 1977. Yeah, nobody fucking cares. Honestly.
Yeah, nobody cares.
That's cool. You went and saw Star Wars in theaters in 1977. Awesome. You saw it unedited before Lucas changed everything, right? But I mean, in the end, more movies came out and there are more interpretations that come out, and they're growing the fandom, and the way that fans connect is through these fandoms. Now I understand going into Superman, you have this entire fanatical group of people who love Snyder that are just like, well, Snyder can do no wrong, and there's nothing that Snyder did that was wrong, and Snyder made amazing movies. And it's like, I have made my critiques in the past where I mean I've generally been positive about Snyder movies. I did enjoy those movies because I understood what he was trying to do. I also understand the studio level of kind of like what they did to kind of mess with his vision of what he was trying to do. But at the same time, it's like there are things that are that he could have done better. Like he does way too much slow motion. He does there's a lot of lens flare that is unnecessary. There are a little bit of like toxic things that
One
go on in these
hell
movies.
of a director of photography.
He is. I mean, again, he's not the most amazing writer, but at the same time, he did make solid movies. They were very dark for what they were, but they were solid movies. Like we got a different take on Superman. This version of Superman, where everybody, I got into an argument with somebody literally like 3 days ago on TikTok, because that's where I always get into arguments with people. No, sorry, this was on Facebook. But this guy basically said, Superman, the Superman movie now is terrible, and it hasn't broken even, and it's not going to break even. And I'm like, do you not know how math works? Right? The movie had a budget of $225 million. Okay, it had a global marketing budget, so not just in domestically, but a global marketing budget of 125 million. That means 350 million to break even.
Yeah.
As of this weekend, they made $557 million. They broke even $200 million ago.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it's just like they're like, it's a flop because it hasn't broken even. Like, do you not know how math works? That's not how math works, right? And then I had to like look at it, and I think what the comparison they're making is Man of Steel at the end of its run, right? Made $664 million. Now you add that up for inflation, right? And yes, it made a decent penny. It made a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Now, two things going against this Superman is since the pandemic, people don't like going to the movies anymore because they would rather just wait for it to come out at home. But then also, everything is expensive. Everything is expensive. So a lot of people don't want to go out to the movies to go see it. Again, they would just wait for it to hit max. But the thing is that people are going to see this movie 6, 7, 8 times.
Yeah.
That says a lot for this movie, and where it's toxic is when they try to compare the movies versus enjoying the movies for what they are in their own right. They're both takes on Superman. I enjoyed both. I went and saw Man of Steel like 3 or 4 times. I enjoyed that movie a lot, right? But at the same time, this movie is the most Superman since any Superman. And that's going to be blasphemous for anybody who's going to sit there and say, oh, well, no, 77 Superman is the best, right? Superman with Christopher Reeves is the best Superman that there ever was. There's problems with that movie.
Yeah.
As much as people don't want to admit that, in what logical space, in at least in comic book logic, does flying backwards run you back in time?
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
No, there are issues. There are definite issues.
Right. Like none of these movies are perfect. None of them are perfect. Right?
No.
They are all 3 of these movies. I'm going to go with the first iterations of these versions of Superman.
Right.
All 3 of these movies were amazing in their own right. Christopher Reeve was the first time we got a Superman on screen that felt like the comic book Superman.
Right. He was the Superman and the Clark. He was very bumbling as Clark, and he was very slick as Superman, and he played it well.
Right. So. And no disrespect to George Reeves, who played the original Superman in the 40s, but that he wasn't a comic book version of that character. It was very much a 1940s version of that character. And Christopher Reeve is the first time we got a comic book version of Superman. Man of Steel was like if you let Frank Miller write Superman.
Yeah.
It really was. It very much was. If Frank Miller wrote Superman, this is what Superman would be. Now, there are a lot of good things in those movies, but again, I've talked about, like, Superman wouldn't have killed Zod. I've justified why Superman killed Zod in that movie, but Superman would not under any circumstance in the comic books kill Zod. He wouldn't have killed
That's
because he doesn't
true.
kill anybody, right?
Yeah.
He has proven, if you look at Superman versus the Superman versus the five the was it the All Stars or the Five Stars? I'm trying to remember which one it is, but basically at the end of that book, he makes it seem like he lost it, kills the entire group, right? And in reality, he didn't kill anybody. He basically made it seem like he was killing somebody, and then the Superman bots came and saved them and held them in a prison, right? And
Okay.
then
Yeah.
and then the last dude, basically, he made it seem like he was gonna throw him into the sun and was like, "The whole thing is what I'm showing you is what I'm capable of doing and why I won't do that."
Yeah.
Right? Why I will never cross that line. And it shows that Superman is the strongest character in existence and that he is aware of how much strength he has, but it's his morality that keeps him human and keeps him the way he is. And that's why I like James Gunn's version of Superman, is because that version of Superman is willing to save a squirrel, is willing to make it so that buildings don't get destroyed when a monster is kaijuing it through the middle of Metropolis, whereas Snyder's version
And
of
doesn't
Superman,
want the kaiju to get killed.
he didn't even want the kaiju to die. He was like, "There's a intergalactic zoo that I would have loved to take him to." Superman cares so much about the sanctity of life that he's not even willing to kill something that was designed to kill him.
Yeah. And to that I say maybe kindness is punk rock.
It is. Kindness is punk rock. Now, going back to what we were saying, and again, just kind of putting a bow into this whole thing, right? There is a difference between passionate critique and toxic behavior, because passionate critique is what I just did right now. There are problems with all of these movies, but in the end, it is a different take, and I enjoy all of it for what it is. And I will have my problems with each of these movies, but I enjoy them for what they are. Toxic behavior is literally, well, no, Snyder is better than James Gunn. James Gunn is terrible because he didn't make a dark version. And really, they're just mad because Zack Snyder didn't get to make his last two movies. And they wanted those movies, right? They really wanted those movies. I wanted those movies. I would have loved to see an Injustice movie.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
Because that's where he was going next. He was going to do Injustice. And it's like, I would have loved to see an Injustice movie, but the cards didn't go that route. People are pissed that Henry Cavill didn't get a chance to play Superman again. Okay, that's fine. Like, he doesn't need to. He can move on to other things. And he's working on Warhammer right now as we speak.
And Highlander.
Which he's a nerd for all that. That's right. He's on Voltron too. I mean, like, he's doing other things. You can allow him to do other things. Creators like Gunn navigating things without alienating their audience or his audience. I love the response, because the whole thing is he's talking about toxicity. He's talking about, don't elevate the voices that are angry. There's no reason to be.
Right. He was like, don't feed the beast. Don't give them air. Because if they don't have air, then they don't have anything to argue about. And so I think that, and then eventually their voice dies out. I think that's a great thing. And I think Gunn has the right idea about it. It's a hard, tightrope to walk, but I think he's doing a pretty good job so far. But let's move to the next topic, because we do have another topic and we're getting close to, time. So let's keep it going. All right. Nolan's Odyssey is filming in a news black hole, has critics asking if the journey's worth the cost.
Ooh.
Christopher Nolan's upcoming epic, The Odyssey, is deep into production, but its filming location has sparked serious backlash. Scenes were shot in Dakhla, a city in Western Sahara, a disputed territory occupied by Morocco for the past 50 years and classified by the UN as non self governing. human rights groups and the Western Sahara International Film Festival, FI Sahara, condemned the shoot. FI Sahara's statement was blunt. Dakhla is not just a beautiful place with cinematic sand dunes, it's an occupied and militarized city whose indigenous
Sarawi.
Sarai
Sarawi.
Sahrawi population is subjected to brutal repression. They urged Nolan and his team to halt production and stand in solidarity with the, say it again for me,
Sarawi.
Sahrawi people who face censorship, imprisonment, and torture for advocating self-determination. So the question I have, I mean, this is like a pretty topic.
Yeah.
Is it fair to expect directors to navigate geopolitical minefields, or is that part of the responsibility when your work reaches a global stage?
So with this, I do believe that this is a part of the director's responsibility, or just the filmmakers in general. I understand you take so long to scout locations for these movies, and it's like, okay, well, the city of Dakhla is a beautiful place and the sand dunes are great, but the thing is there are other places that you can find that are just as beautiful, that have that will probably have similar locations and similar views without going into a place that is considered a considered a non-self-governing area, like a place where
Right.
the UN basically says you shouldn't be going here, right? He shouldn't be pushing the case just to get a scene for a film. And I get Chris Nolan is he's a stickler when it comes to the cinematography. He's a stickler when it comes to the filming of these movies. I feel like he could have made a better decision. Again, you can go further into Morocco. You can go into there are other places in Western Africa, or in just in the Sahara in general, where you can go and film these scenes and get a similar picture. And I mean, there's plenty of places in the Mediterranean that you can go and go on here. What's James saying? If he didn't shoot there, would we even know, be aware? Okay, so I understand where James is coming from. Is that okay? Maybe his intent is to bring awareness. The other thing is, if you're in a place like this, in particular, where it is a militarized city, where people are being, repressed, and people are being imprisoned and tortured, and all these different things that are going on, you're also putting your entire cast and crew in danger.
Yeah.
Putting them in these places. And that should also be your first directive, is to take care of the well-being of everyone that is a part of that set.
Yeah, I find it really interesting. Christopher Nolan, in my eyes, it's like, from what I've understand, is that he's usually pretty conscious of stuff like that.
Right.
So it is a little surprising to me that he's the one that this is coming up for. It's kind of like James Cameron not doing his research. It's that kind of thing, because James Cameron is like known for basically getting a doctorate in anything he does, like,
Right.
any movie he does. And so I feel like that with Nolan, it seems a little sloppy to me, and that's just not something that Nolan's known for. So I'm a little surprised about that. But I do also agree that there are other places that you could go to.
Right.
But then I also agree with James. Would we know about this? I don't think I would have ever known about this. I had no idea.
There are other
I don't
ways
even.
to get, like, there are other ways to get visibility on something like this.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like it is reckless to take your entire crew and set and everybody and bring them in the middle of a war-torn area, a place that is going through something like this rather than going to a place and again, you can bring awareness to this without putting other people in danger.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's a military state, which what it seems like it's saying a militarized city
Mhm.
seems a little military statey to me.
Yeah.
And um and it does sound like persecution is happening. So, obviously they probably paid the government that's militarizing the city instead of the people that want to fight back. And so I feel like it was a poor decision, a terrible
Mhm.
mistake was made, and
This
someone
is like
needs
trying to
to take
film. Oh,
responsibility for it.
this is like trying to film scenes in Somalia, in Somalia.
Yeah, yeah.
With the amount of piracy that happens in Somalia, it's not a safe place to bring, tourists and actors and people who are not used to being in areas like this. I don't think I don't think they filmed in all these movies that take place in Somalia. I don't think one of them filmed in Somalia.
Right, yeah, and a lot of places don't. Like, I mean, there are a lot of countries that look like other countries.
Mhm.
Prague comes to mind. A
Yeah,
lot of people, like, film in
everything
Prague
looks
for
like
stuff.
Prague. Yeah, everything looks like Prague.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you want like, old Europe? Prague.
Yeah,
You want, like shady back alleys, Prague. I mean, it's really you can really use that for anything. Anyway, off topic, but I do think that they could have gone somewhere else to do it. So, and I know that Nolan has an exacting eye and wants the perfect shot, but it's like when you step in a geopolitical hotbed, then you might have gotten your shot another way. So I definitely am with the Shara,
Sarawi.
Phi Sahara,
Oh,
the
the Sahara. Yeah,
Western, yeah, the Phi Sahara group. I think that he could have gone somewhere else. I think knowing what's going on in the world for directors nowadays a lot is an important part of being a director these days.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, let's get on into the next segment here, just because this it's kind of down, but we'll move on to the next segment here.
These are hard. I mean, these were pretty hardcore topics. I
It's
wanted to do that because I
good.
feel like the download should be more like industry topics, things that impact not only, us as fans, but everybody. So, and I thought
Absolutely.
these were two cool things to do. They just both came at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
let's
think we
get
should
more
get
local.
local.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get more local with this week's Geek End update. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Comic-Cons have been happening. And I'm just going to say that I am laughing on the inside right now, because as soon as we hit the Geek End update, I saw Sandra run to the camera right now, and it was pretty hilarious. Yeah, take the finger. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend was a con, NovaCon 2025 to be exact, on August 2nd, 2025, here in Northern California. It was in Brentwood, California. It was a con for cosplayers and for different artists and different people out there. So here to talk a little bit more about that con, ladies and gentlemen, it is Sandra from the DeLong Family Cosplay.
Hello, Sandra. Can Phil
Hello,
say
Frank.
con? Can Phil say con any more times
Con.
in like one sentence?
Con.
I think he said con.
Con.
I wanted him to call someone con.
Con!
Have we conned that one out yet?
Yeah, maybe.
Not yet, because then he might eventually be a con artist. I don't know.
I don't know.
No,
Con
he
artist.
doesn't have the moral fortitude for that.
No, he doesn't really. He pretends when he's Deadpool, but really no.
Are you saying I'm a nice guy? Sandra, go ahead and tell us about NovaCon.
Okay, so yeah, this is the first time NovaCon was put on. It was put on by a cosplayer called Lovely Nova and her mom, and it was all inspired by the love of her daughter, who loves cosplay. So they decided to put this big con together. They brought in a bunch of different cosplayers, vendors, artists. They brought along Sad Geeks, which is the main reason why I was there. And it was just like Phil was saying, it was all about cosplay and cosplayers. There was panels on like foam making, like making masks, and there was panels with voice actors. We had cosplay groups that were doing the cosplay contest, and one of the members of Cosplay Dropouts, which is Cos Bunny, she was dressed as their mascot, which I didn't know about until she was announced on stage, which I thought was really cool. And I met a lot of new vendors there, one of which hopefully have reached out to you, Phil. I'm not sure if they have yet or not.
Not yet. They haven't.
Okay. So, yeah, I was making connections for everyone and everything and having a whole lot of fun.
Well, that's awesome. So, and it was in Brentwood, California?
Yes, Brentwood, California, the East Bay.
I lived in Brentwood for a little bit. I went to high school in Brentwood.
So, I have a question, though. How warm was it?
It actually was really, really hot.
Uh-huh.
It was really hot, and I had to unload the truck and load up and set up the booth, and it was really hot. We were outside.
Yeah. But you guys had a good time. Everybody had a great time.
We did. Overall, everyone had a great time. It was really fun.
Well, that's amazing. I love that it's a cosplayer and her mom. I think that's so cool. You know, like the family supporting family. You know, that's the positivity that we need, not the toxicity. Toxicity. No, that sounds like a disease. Positivity.
A pox on your family.
But I mean it in a really nice way.
Yeah, Say Wong saying a convention outside.
Yeah.
If you know Brentwood Square, like you know the area where they had the con, the library's right there, but it makes the most sense to have it outside over there.
Yeah, and there was like a farmer's market off to the side, so a lot of people were coming from the farmer's market, and then next to us was the community center, and a quinceañera was happening, so there was a lot of traffic coming through for everything.
Nice.
A quinceañera? I love quinceañeras. They have the best cake, and man, and the food is delicious. I'm just having flashbacks to when I went to quinceañeras. So in San Antonio. Okay, I'm back. We're good. Let's go. Keep moving.
And there was also a rave towards the end of the night. I forgot to mention that and didn't have time to take photos of the rave.
Oh, that's awesome.
I wonder what DJs were playing because it was probably someone I know.
I don't remember. I'll find out and text it to you later because I believe Frisco, the president of Sat Geeks, knew the DJ.
Okay. Like I said, there's a good chance I knew him because I mean I used to play that scene. So
you should have came with me, man.
I was gonna say now since you were there with Sat Geeks, you didn't get a chance to dress up.
No, I mean I could have if I wanted to, but I also knew it was gonna be hot, so I didn't want to.
Oh, okay. I mean, hey, you do you. I just wondered. I was like, could you do it or not? So yeah, no, I think that's great. I feel like this is when you do like the summer looks of people, or like you would do like a Starfire or a Wonder Woman, because they're not wearing a lot. So being outside and it being warm, they have less on.
Chun-Li.
Probably a lot better.
Like the cosplayers who were there, they were wearing their more summery cosplays too.
So this wouldn't have been a good place for me running around in my costume.
No, you would be drenched in sweat.
I was gonna say I would give you 5 minutes. 5 minutes and then you just soaked.
Yeah.
Like you were in Footloose and you did,
Absolutely. All right.
No, wait, not Footloose. Flashdance. What the hell?
We all knew what you meant.
Town. Yeah, teaching an entire town with people
how to dance.
Up their butts how to dance.
Yep.
Well, do they have flared bases?
A pen was in that.
Oh, the flared bass. So Sandra, I'm gonna give you an opportunity here before we jump into the next con that we're gonna talk about to talk about what you guys got going on tomorrow, because you guys got a pretty big deal happening tomorrow on the Long Fan Cosplay.
Yes, we do. We are going to be on tomorrow at 5:30 interviewing Ken Nash, who is the creator and owner of Art Dogs Creative. We met him at Metal Lark Comic-Con, and we did a mini interview with him, and that video is up already on our YouTube, and now we're going to do a full interview with him tomorrow.
Freaking awesome. So guys, make sure if you're not already subscribed to DeLong Fam Cosplay, it's DeLong Fam Cosplay, right?
Yes, and we are on the road to 200. We're at 111, so we need to get more.
Oh, people, come on,
subscribe, guys. If you're not already subscribed to DeLong Fam Cosplay, guys, make that happen. And on top of that, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell button, so then that way when they go live, you'll get a notification. As with us, if you are currently not subscribed to Distance Nerding, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell button, so that way you guys get all of those notifications.
I mean, we forgive you for not being subscribed to us so far. So, but you can't keep putting it off. So go ahead and subscribe.
That's right. Well, Sandra, I appreciate you coming on and talking about the NovaCon over the weekend.
Of course.
And coming up soon, you'll be with us at this next show here. Guys, Tri-Cities Powerhouse Comic-Con is coming. It is coming, and we are excited about it. Now, this is happening August 16th and 17th in Pasco, Washington. Paige Turco is going to be there. April from Ninja Turtles 2 and 3, Guiding Light, and much more. Mark Price, Skippy from Family Ties, Linda Miller from King Kong Escapes, Christine Auten, who's she's a voice actress that was most notably in Full Metal Alchemist. Animator Tom Cook is going to be there, who's famous for Super Friends, Scooby-Doo, Smurfs, Godzilla, Heathcliff, He-Man, so much more. And of course, we're doing an entire Sonic the Hedgehog reunion with Ryan Drummond, the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog himself, voice actor Scott Dreyer, who's Knuckles from the Sonic series, and voice actor David Humphrey, who was Shadow from Sonic. So we're going to have a whole bunch of Sonic characters that are going to be there. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun. Maybe we'll get them to do like a little improv scene with all three of their characters.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds fun. I think you guys are going to have a blast.
I think
it's going to be a lot of fun. Very special weekend for us.
I'll get on the interviews this week.
Well, we don't 100% know who we're interviewing. I know that the Sonic one is probably going to be a thing, but they haven't released the schedule yet. We just know who the guests are, so we can assume we're going to interview all of them, but at the same time, also assume that we're not interviewing any of them. So, we'll find out more as time comes on. Usually about a week before the show, they announce the panels. So,
that's cool.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the Geekend update.
So funny. I'm sorry. That was just like, that's cool. And then we all just went silent. That was amazing. We should clip that as well. That's pretty funny.
Hold on.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are going to Tri-Cities Powerhouse Comic-Con, the one thing you can do while you're there is hit us up for merch, because we got merch, people. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We got merch, and so can you. All you got to do is hit us up on your social media of choice. Let us know what you would like from us, and we'll get it set up for you guys. We got shirts. As of right now, we have the what are you guys calling it again?
The chase.
The chase.
Version.
We've got the chase shirt. We've got the character shirt. We've got stickers. We've got all kinds of fun stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Hit us up. The shirts are $20 each. $25 if we got to ship it to you. $50 if you're going from Florida. So, because Florida, man. Inflation's a bitch.
And they're very they're well-made, good quality shirts. I know that you laugh when I say this, but that's important, is that they're a good quality shirt. There are con bags that are $10. So the Tri-Cities Powerhouse Comic-Con is coming. Get your con bag there. You have additional places to put all of the fun stuff that you're going to buy there because you know you're going to do it. Pick a shirt up too while you're at it.
That's right. So let's jump into the schedule, ladies and gentlemen. Our schedule: Tuesdays, the download from 6:30 to 8:30. That is the show you are currently watching right now. We talk news, rumors, and talk about all the things happening at the moment. Thursdays, the build from 6 to 8. Now this week, Deborah Estelle Phillips is going to be on the Yellow Ranger from Time Force. Thanks to our good friend Sandra here.
Yay!
She hooked us up with that connection, and I've already done a crap ton of research. I just need to start writing it down. But I've got all kinds of stuff that I've learned about Deborah, and she. I was messaging her the other day. I was telling her, do a lot of research on our guest. She goes, I'm not going to say that I'm not afraid of that.
I know, I was in that chat.
I know. She was like, I'm not going to say I'm afraid of that. I was like, no, it'll be fun. They'll trust me. So yes, this week we've got a Power Ranger on, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a Ranger fan, then this is the place to be. Again, 6 to 8 on Thursday. I am currently building the jazz quartet, so that'll be fun. And then once I'm done with the jazz quartet, I've got a surprise kit for everybody that I know everybody's going to be excited about, because it took me a long time to get this kit, and I was looking for it for a long time, so I'm very happy about it. Of course, Fridays, the buzzer from 6 to 8. Ladies and gentlemen, we play a whole bunch of games. We have a whole bunch of fun. The buzzer is where knowing the answer is optional, but laughing at the wrong one is mandatory.
We definitely did that on Friday.
Yeah. And pissing off Shidu is the goal.
Exactly.
That
was funny.
It's always funny. Anytime we piss Shidu off, it's just exactly. That's all you hear is
he's such an easy mark.
He is. And
that's what it is. And I feel bad because I'm his mom. You know, I'm like, I'm his mom. I shouldn't go that hard on my son. Like, I really shouldn't.
You also encourage it. So I mean,
I do. I feel like he needs to, vag up, really.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, guys, let's do this. Jen, since he's not here right now, you got to do your own pluggable. So pluggables, let's go.
Hi. I'm no, I'm just kidding. My name's Frey. I've got my own channel at Frey Girl that's on YouTube. I occasionally do classified videos with Shidu. And the most recent one is Percy Jackson season 1. I feel like it is the best one we've done. We also do a side series called Journals of the Classes. So if you don't know Dungeons and Dragons classes, you kind of need to know that for the classified, because we take fandoms and we classify them in Dungeons and Dragons classes. So if you don't know anything about the classes, do the sister show first and then go to the main show. And then we also have a new series coming up called Journals of the Ancients, and it's going to be about the different races in D&D. And yeah, that's it. I'm on all the socials at Frey Comics or at Frey Girl. Yeah, and I post really silly things, usually about nerdy stuff. So sometimes it's about, female positivity. So
as it should be.
You never know. Yeah, that's
as
me.
It should be. Exactly. Sandra, I'm gonna give you one more chance. Go ahead and give everybody your pluggables here.
Okay, guys, so we are on Facebook, Threads, and Instagram. We are obviously on YouTube. We're going to have our show tomorrow at 5:30, interviewing Ken Nash, and it's going to be a great show. And then you can catch us actually before Tri-Cities Powerhouse locally at Sacramento at the VerseCon Comic-Con.
That's this weekend, right?
Yes, it is.
And that's at Scottish Rite?
Yes, sir.
All right. So if you're local to the Sacramento area, guys, this weekend at the Scottish Rite Center, head over to VerseCon. It's going to be a good time.
This weekend.
This Sunday.
Join us Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support Distance Nerding, the best way to do it is to head over to distancenerding.com. Go over to the big blue button at the top of the screen right there, and you can buy us a taco. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, join the taco party. You can join the taco party. It's the best way to support us, guys. Makes it so that we can continue doing more shows and more events and get out there and get better prizes, guys, because I am trying to give away Lego. And let's transition right into the next thing. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the road to 500. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Once we get there, I'm giving away Lego kits. I'm gonna go Lego happy and just give away kits. Why? Because we want to reward all of you guys who are supporting us. We are currently at 400.
Also, it enables his kink.
It does. My kink is I am not afraid to buy your affection. Ladies and gentlemen, 457 subscribers is where we are right now. Once we hit 500, I'm going to give away some Lego kits. I've been scouting a couple of kits out there, a couple of ones that I'm kind of wanting to buy myself, but then also give away. Specifically, I keep seeing everywhere I go the Sorting Hat.
Oh, really? Yeah, that one looks cute. I like that one.
Yeah. I keep seeing the Sorting Hat, and it's like, oh man, wonder if I should get this. But I mean, like, guys, I want to give away Lego kits. I do, but the thing is that I'm gonna give those Lego kits away once we hit 500 subscribers. So, guys, tell your friends about us. Tell everybody about Distance Nerding. Have them subscribe on YouTube. On top of that, again, a way that you can help is on your social media. If you head over to Distance Nerding on Instagram, and you take our post and you repost our post and put it in your story and you tag us in that post, that'll give you an extra chance to win the Lego. Let me give everybody a breakdown of so far who has their extra chances right now. The DeLongs are leading in all of that. On Jeff's account, I have +6. On Girl Mode, I have +1. On Leroy David, I have +1. Sat Geeks, I have +1. On Sandra Betty's account, I have a +6. So that means between both of them, there's a +12.
Wow.
Comics has a +1.
I think they should roll for initiative.
I know, right? The Initial Mile has a +1. The Council of Wades, oh my God, the Council of Wades has a +1 too. So repost that gives them 13. Karen, oh God, I just got a notification. That means there's probably going to be another one there. Yeah, Karen O'Sullivan Natras has a +1. Jen Stillwell has for some reason I have a -1 on here. +1.
Well, I do things big. That's, So it just went negative. It blew up and went negative. That's what happened.
Right. So as of right now, guys, the way we're going to do it is when we hit 500 and I give away those Lego, essentially, if you're in the chat when I do the Legos, when I do the giveaway, you have a chance to win. But all these extra names that I have right here get a bigger piece of the pie. So they are going to have a much larger chance to win. Okay, so guys, get in on it, right? Sandra already reposted it, but I mean, like, we're get in on it, right? Find that post, repost it. I'll probably repost it tonight just to give you guys a chance, right? Repost everything. Once we hit 500 subscribers, I'm gonna go out and get some Lego. I'm gonna go and give away some stuff because, guys, 500 subscribers is the goal. So with that being said, let's move on because, ladies and gentlemen, if you have something you want to discuss, tell us what you're nerding out on and connect with us on all the social media places: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm never calling it X. Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, Blue Sky, MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and handles the beard. Jamez's glasses, judging you for not subscribing to us on YouTube right now because they are judging you. He is judging you hard, and he's not even on the show right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And of course, everything she would do for money, which is mostly just being
Get your special sock out, nerds.
Oh, sorry, wrong one. It's mostly being afraid
of this voice right here. He's afraid of this. I don't know why. Why would you be afraid of this voice? It's creepy. I'll give it that. But I mean, it's not that bad. Is it that bad?
Something happened in his childhood that made him scared.
There's fucking trauma there for sure. Jen, what did you do to him?
He's never really liked clowns. Maybe that's it.
Shadoo, my name is Pennywise. Hi! How's it going, kid?
Wow.
Now when he goes back and listens to the episode, he's probably going to shit himself. So there we go.
Right. He's like going to be done, like finished filming for the day. He'll be like, I'm going to watch The Distance Learning. And then by the end, he's like, I hate Phil.
He's going to, you're going to see him in the fetal position. Just like, what happened to you? I just listened to the episode.
Phil's so mean.
Why does he do this to me? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like us to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, or just tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or wish the internet would consume us completely and spit us out at the feet of whatever weird ass clown that Shadoo is afraid of.
All of them.
All of them. Yeah. Pennywise, the killer clowns.
He's not even that big of a fan of Ronald McDonald, y'all.
Ronald
I mean,
McDonald.
Yes, like that's.
You know,
he's just not a clown person.
Or also we can you can spit us out at the feet of all of the asshole toxic trolls that are all over TikTok that already hate us to begin with. They hate,
but not John Cena, because John Cena is a lovely person.
John Cena. All right, there. Of course, you can email us at distnerding@aol.com and we will read it live on air. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. Jen, do you want to say the last two lines?
Sure. You know I do. Thanks, and keep nerding together. Oh, and Bruce, go to sleep, Bruce. Bruce, it's time for bed.
Right,
bedtime, Bruce. Night.
Is Bruce watching the show right now?
No, he's actually at his grandparents tonight.
Well, then don't go to sleep, buddy.
It'll be later for him. He'll watch it at some point.
Yeah, he will.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. We will see everybody on Thursday with Deborah Estelle Phillips. So until then, as Jen just said, just because I backed myself into a corner and now I have to say it or else it'll be weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks and keep nerding together. We'll see everybody on Thursday.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Distance nerding.
We'd have to bail on work early.